APAC finals. This is day 2 for Group A being played out today. And we are in the middle of the matchup between Order and Signature. Tim, Signature have come through and have really proved me wrong today.
Yeah, I think proved all of us wrong. They've done very well to make it this far. Currently, I'm going to spoil the replays a little bit, but they currently set up 6-1 on their T side over Order, playing very, very well indeed. Couple big clutches early on, admittedly. Cigarettes with the 1v2 there. QQ got, of course, with a massive 4K in the pistol round.
Huge.
So that's a bit of that individual brilliance that they were talking about themselves in the pre-game interview. If you did catch that, if you missed it, they were saying that they do rely on these weird individual plays. That's their own wording for it, and certainly they've had some of those, but nonetheless, they do sit up at 6-1. We have had a bit of a pause as there's been a CSGO update released, and interestingly enough, it's been a map pool update. Ooh. So for those following along at home who haven't heard, Dust 2 is in, Cobble is out.
And see, that really disappoints me because in my horrible, horrible MM games, Cobble is the best map I get to play. And I'm taking it right down to Silver One.
Oh, yeah. Look, I love me some Cobble.
Bad.
Rush B,
yeah,
easy win.
Rush B, just
Rush
look
drop.
for drop. That's rush drop, split, entry frag, and win. That's the game plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to play Cobble.
Yeah, of course, unless you're like actually a good player like the people you see on the screen in front of you.
Absolutely.
Not us, but that's okay. Either way, I think we will be getting back into things quite soon, which will be good. We'll be back underway on train between Order and Signature for the first matchup of Group A.
Yes, this is a best of one, and talking about best of ones, yesterday we saw another SEA team do quite well. We saw Boot Dreamscape stick it to Greyhound and actually get the win over them in the BO1.
It was quite close in the end, going all the way to 30 rounds, 16-14. But nonetheless, they've started out well for themselves. Unfortunately, they were then eliminated later on in the day. But at least the best of one went well, and best of one is, as we say, upset territory. Or upset everywhere. You know, however you want to phrase it. There's big potential for upsets in a best of one, but that perhaps there isn't in a longer series like a best of 3, where in theory the better team should win. But in this best of 1, then Order, I mean, again, this is an elimination match. This is the opening match of Group A, but Order don't want to be going down to Signature here if they can avoid it. No,
they'll have to fight the long game if they do, dropping to the lower bracket to fight through and try and make it out of groups. We had Group B yesterday. Today is Group A. And this is our very first matchup. And Tim, the desk was talking a lot about the vetoes that came into this, saying that this was a massive win. To quote Kevin, it was a massive win for Order. How are you feeling about this on train right now?
Well, I mean, before the game started, I would have said that it's a massive win for Order because they leave it up to Inferno or Train, which are both maps that Order love. So they do end up winning the veto, I think, in that they force Signature to pick a map that Order is playing well on. But even though they start off on CT side of Train, we haven't yet seen them doing as well as we normally would on the CT side. Of course, right now I believe Sicko still sits at 0 kills, waiting for him to get the AWP in his hands, which will be a very big impact changer, or a very big game changer, I think, for the way that Order play, because if Sicko can have the room to move around, be free, find the picks, as he so likes to do, then this could be really, really good for Order. But they are down by 5 rounds at the moment, sitting at 6-1. They need to come back into things here on their CT side. So I think it's certainly doable for them. The game is only 7 rounds in, and while 6 of them have gone the way of Signature, it's very early days yet. We've only played just about half of the first half. You can't really have half of 15, but you know, we're only halfway through. So it's early days for Order yet, and they're a team with the firepower that they can certainly come back into this.
We did see what is typical for Ts when they're winning against the CT side. We saw the 5 come out from them. And Sicko, as you mentioned, has been having a rough time getting things started in this match. But really have to give Signature some decent credit too. Rolex has been playing well. QQ got, as you mentioned, that 4K to start us off. A very mad pistol round. All of these players on Signature have had their moments. We've had great entries onto sites. Do you think that Signature really need to change much right now?
I mean, no, not really. Most of what we've seen from them has just been A pressure. So they've been sending 2 players or 3 players through Ivy, throwing that smoke to block off the CT side of things and working their way through to A, usually finding a kill around there as well. I think it's Liaz and Sicko, I think, who have been in that area. Or Sicko's been front trains. Whoever's been down there fighting that for Order have been overwhelmed pretty much every time after getting, even on that Deagle buy, the force buy in the second round where Liaz gets 2 kills, it's not enough. And I think Cigarettes came through with the 1 versus 2 there. So I mean, I think that Signature can just keep doing what they're doing. Of course, they'll have to adapt here, and we'll see how they deal with Sicko once he gets the AWP in his hand. But Reality in the last gun round did have an AWP up, so at least they're already ready for that duel.
And he did get a frag with that AWP as well. So as we get prepared to get underway with this game, looking to the rest of the day, Tim, do you think Order are going to be able to take this one out? And how do you think the rest of this group's going to be looking?
Well, the other game that's going on is MVP versus SC Absolute. So I haven't checked the score on that one recently. But we can have a look at that and see how it's going. But you'd say that heading into this one that the winners of these games, based on previous history, should be MVP and Order, which means that our best of threes would be Order MVP and Signature SC Absolute. So Order MVP, I think, would be a really good series, which we'll break down as we get closer to it. If that is the way that this goes, of course. Order not having the greatest start to train, as we mentioned. What are we doing there? So it looks like the other game's just been waiting for that update as well. So it's still in the early stages.
So that game playing out on the B stream, MVP, PK, and SZ Absolute. They brought it down in the vetoes to Cobble that's left over. And that one's currently going the way of SC Absolute.
They won the pistol, and it looks like they've just taken out the force buy as well. So, or the anti-eco, I should say. So both games, I guess, in the very early stages so far today. But, I mean, we'll have to see how they go. Of course, we still have the best part of 30 rounds to be played for both games, if it does go all the way to 30. So we'll have to see. But we move into 2 more best of 3s later today. Whichever way they go, I still think that Order can come back into this. They're not down too far, really, on their CT side. I mean, it's been what? They lost the pistol. Yeah. Due to that massive 4K, as we said. QQ managed to play that very intelligently and find 4 1v1s, which is great from him. Then they take the anti-ecos, the second one of which is incredibly close, going down to a 2 versus 1, but unfortunately, Cigarettes was too strong for Order. Then the third round is against USPs, and I think a P250. They took that one out just by rushing A, basically, with the full execute, and Order had that fancy stack they tried, and it didn't work. But ever since then, really, Order have only lost a pistol and a gun round. Yeah. And the gun round was down to Signature hitting some very sharp entries, so we haven't seen too much just yet. Not yet, but we are back in game. We're bringing this back to 5-1, and Signature, of course, in the lead. They're going to be here with the full buy. Plenty of cash stacked up there as well, with Cigarettes still on 7K before starting this one off. Sicko goes to get the first, but Genius will put him away. Emag and Alistair going to find their own, trading. And Rolex picking up hats. This is left with a 3v3. Rolex pushing at the back of the bomb train. Emag will be in his sights, but he spots Alistair first with his barrel, and he'll put him away. AK too strong. Liaz goes to Rolex as well. Will Rolex get a third? Not going to happen. Emag, an AK for his own. 2 frags so far, and the 1v2 for the clutch. He moves to the back of the site. The bomb is dropped, and he knows that Signature are going to have to play for it. QQ God, too strong. And that will be Signature 6-1. That was, again, very expensive for them, though, dropping 3 players against the pistols. So Order have done a great job of limiting their money, of course, with the round win or the bonus coming through of planting the bomb and all that sort of thing. Their money's not doing too badly, but now the buy is out from Order. Sicko's on the AWP, so this is what I was hyping up there as what could be a big game changer for Order. So we'll have to see where he plays. He's normally on the A site, AWPing around, but of course can rotate anywhere. And we'll be looking for the Angel out of T-Con early up. We're also seeing the 2 kits. Emag and Alistair have 1 each, so we'll keep track of those as round number 8 plays through. And again, for Order, it's the same setup they normally play, and obviously a lot of teams play. 1 player solo on B. Hats is over here with the utility playing close to the lower ramp. He can throw out his smoke, buy a bit of time for a teammate to rotate, and he has just done that. And there's Sicko winning the opening AWP duel onto QQ coming out of T-Con. That's what the start, well, that's the start that they would have been looking for. I think that's the start. Order wanted a little earlier in today. Signature giving some respect to Order here as they know it's going to be the guns on this round. Rolex with the slow push up to Ivy. Not going to have anyone in direct contention until he sees Emag, who's playing at the carriage on site. And they'll be dancing around the boxes once this smoke clears. The bomb still left towards a T-spawn. And the stack from Signature moving towards the halls. They've still got the option for Pop Top, and it looks like it will be A if possible. Liaz stopping it so far with Rolex going down. That's a good retake, or not even retake, just adaptation there from Order, because Signature have had someone going slow Ivy pretty much every round, and this time they wait for the smoke to fade, they catch it out. Reality goes for a pick here, but Sicko's too good. That's the AWP coming through with a second frag for him. And this is more what we expected from Order. Signature have not been anywhere near as organized. It's just been 4 1v1 pushes, basically. And while Cigarettes might get a couple kills here, round is essentially lost unless you can come up with a massive 1 versus 5. And with just 20 seconds left, the bomb's still down out behind him. There's no time for him to do what he wants. So Hats will take the kill. Order don't lose anyone. That's more what we expected from them on their gun rounds. And Signature, the previous few rounds, they have been going that sort of taking the 1v1, 2v1 sort of duels, not going in as 5. But that time they didn't win the head or hit the headshots, which is what opened up the site in their first gun round. So Order this time managed to win the duels. They were ready for the slow Ivy play out of Signature, just trying to find the timing behind the smoke. 2 players of Sicko and Liaz watching for that push as the smoke faded. And now Signature back on another gun round, going to change it up, heading towards B.
They certainly are, and a great opener from Reality. The fast pick on Hats, and he'll now be able to pull back, leaving Order to rotate through Con. Hats has called it. And it's not an over-committal. We will see both Sicko and Liaz over on B. Liaz pulling back through Con, and Sicko just playing this one at the back of B, waiting to see if we do get committal from Signature.
That's a really good adaptation to go for that pick on Hats as well there, because he's been there every round, which is very standard for a B player solo. To sit there, spot the lower ramp, just peek in, see if you can find anyone playing close to that. And the pre-fire is excellent from Reality. Now they're getting out to the A-bomb side.
They certainly are. Rolex follows it up with one of his own. Good damage down by Alistair. He picks up Kikigod and Genius. Sicko with yet another frag. This being the first in round number 9 for him. It's left us with Reality and Cigarettes. 2v2 with Sicko and Alistair. Alistair playing at the E-box.
Reality going around though, and wheel spot out Alistair, leaves it up to Sicko. 2 versus 1. They're trying to bait the shot out from him as well. Reality's going up onto the bomb train. Sicko's looked away though. And that will be Reality getting a 4 frag on the AWP, opening up the A bomb site from his team. It was nearly a recovered round for Order, with Alistair getting 2 at E-box there, dancing around, and Sicko getting involved as well. But Reality cracks open the round all by himself. 4 kills of his 5 in that round on the AWP. And that's a massive round for him to come alive, resetting the money of Order and that round win. So Order going to fall back onto the pistols. The HE grenades come out as well, so they can all throw those wherever they please. This time, full stack on the A-bomb site. Not going to give Signature the quick pick they looked for last round, but they're not going for it here either. Just spreading out, playing a default, moving the bomb towards Ivy. So it's going to be a wrap in onto A.
Certainly is, but we've got Emag and Hats sitting there waiting for it as they can counter any aggression that looks to come through. Ivy. A good stack here from Signature. And we will get an engagement soon, I feel, between Alistair and Rolex. They're both dancing around Pop Dog at the top, looking for an advantage on one another. Genius pushing through Ivy here. And Emag is waiting for this on top of the pallet. Hats playing close by for a potential refrag. Or perhaps they're going to wipe them. We don't know. That's CZ quite strong.
CZ is always strong, but Signature this time, the last time they went Ivy, they pushed 1 player there and lost him, so they're sending 3 this time. There's a Molotov as well, I believe, to force Sicko back. Unless he peeked and got sprayed out now. Must have been a grenade or something, and Hat's going to go down. Sicko's actually in the back of the bomb site. It's Emag, my mistake, but Emag's found one with the CZ, now peeking in, but Reality's ready with the AWP, and he will hit that shot. In the meantime, though, Order have done some damage as we're in a 3v3, and that's a big shot to miss for Reality.
Certainly is. Rolex coming down the ladder, and he's picked up by Alistair. It's Cigarettes on the site now, 1v3. And if he can pop off, we might see this round still go to Signature. He looks for Sicko. Sicko will spot him out. We're going to be moving around. Not much time left on the clock here. He does get Liaz. 20 seconds left, and Cigarette's hope is to get these last 2 frags. He flashes out to push onto the bomb train. He gets that one. Sicko down. Now 1v1. 13 seconds left, and he runs for it. Alistair clearing out here. He's going to be watching the angle, moving back now, and this will be the round going over to Order, playing for time. Alistair, he's made it. And he gets the frag just to make it a little extra dirty.
Yeah, he gets the final kill on Cigarettes just after time, which limits his money, but everyone's pretty poor on the Signature side of things, so that is a massive force buy win coming through for Order. They managed to make the CZs work in the close range. They find the double frag out of Emag close to Ivy. Well done from him there, and everyone else just able to clean up on that damage as the push comes in. Signature being isolated into 1v1s, the perhaps they weren't ready for, and now it's their turn to go for the pistols. Order coming out with a double AWP here onto Sicko and Hats. And Hats will still be the solo B-side player, but this time we're playing a little bit further back with that AWP. Doesn't want to play close ramp and get overrun by the pistols.
And we're seeing the slow move from Signature now. They've been walking through the holes, not to give away where they're playing here for round 11 against Order. Liaz on the bomb site will be watching from a little further back. Doesn't want to get too close, knowing that Signature surely is on these pistols. And you don't want to get in the face of a CZ.
They do also have Rolex going for that Ivy play. Just going to lurk in, already on his way, try and find out something. But the push is going to come in. There's Hats with the first. Liaz under a lot of pressure, but managing to make it work. Finds himself one. The bomb plan attempt's going to come in. He'll push for it, but can't quite stop it. So now it's Rolex left to try and work through CT. And it's not going to happen. There's no way that he can go fast enough, surely. Unless they are not sticking the bomb yet. They're convinced he's in uppers and they're not looking at him, but that Deagle shot's going to give it away. Now everyone will swing and fight him. Unfortunate that he can't find anything, but as soon as he fires, they stick the bomb. Order keep 5 players alive in the anti-eco. That's an important one for them. Signature falling on the entry, and Rolex unable to make that flank work. Timing not in his favor, but Signature will be back onto the buy here. Going to get 5 AKs out. Decent bit of utility as well. And for Order, they're going to be continuing with this double AWP. Now, for Signature, they've had some decent success going for the full A site execute. We haven't really seen too much utility out of them on the B site yet, as they haven't taken it to B on a gun round. But maybe this is the one. They've got
Maybe
the bomb in a very default
chance.
position. Yeah, just playing around the default again. 2 players towards Ivy as they like to do, and they're clearing out the brown halls where Hats is waiting.
Holding this angle here, Genius with the HE out, and Hat's going to pick him as EMAG elsewhere finds Reality, leaving Signature with 3 men remaining. Rolex down to 34 HP. They do have some utility here if they want to try and get onto a site. Rolex playing from Ivy, and EMAG is primed and ready for this. Rolex peeking out to look for the back, and he's waiting, taking his time. We'll see him peek EMAG in a moment as it's the push onto the site coming through from Cigarettes. He's made it onto B. Rolex with the peek now. EMAG, easy pickup, leaving us Cigarettes to pick up. Hats on B. B clear, and the bomb will be going over to the B site to be planted. Great Molotov from Cigarettes to cut off Connector. EMAG rotating through CT spawn. Cigarette's going to be wise to this positioning, checking to his right. He'll see EMAG here, but that's good information for Order. And
they're already on the flank as well. 2 players in the brown halls coming in, so while QQ will find Liaz, surely they won't be expecting the second player to be coming out of upper. Alistair's spotted out 1 and should actually have a read on both here. No, he hasn't quite seen Cigarettes. And it leaves Cigarettes in the 1v3. Gets found out in the open and Sicko hits the AWP shot. So a great play there from Order. And at this point, they've got a really hard read onto what Rolex is doing. They're just putting EMAG on Rolex duty, just waiting around at Ivy for that push, as everyone else finds kills elsewhere on the bomb side. Unfortunately for Signature, it goes into a 3 versus 5 before they can even get the bomb down. And even though they do get the pick on Hats, the AWP is recovered. EMAG picks that one up, so he'll be able to drop that over to Hats. They'll get another buy out here as well. So Signature on the pistols again. Order now only 2 rounds behind. Should be 1 round here. This is more of the CT side that we were expecting from them. Finding the early picks, able to make the retakes work. They're looking pretty comfortable now. They certainly are. Liaz has been stacking the kills on the board, and Order starting to find their groove. This double AWP setup been working well for them, and Sicko is certainly getting his numbers ticking. QQ God will be the first to go down as EMAG gets the assist. Alistair finishing him off. Ali going to move to E-Box to cover both for Pupdog and for Main. There is someone waiting in both of those for him. That's going to be the bomb rotating, though, up to the holes, and no dedication to A yet from Signature. They're not going all in here, especially not when Sicko can pick up Rolex playing Ivy. And that's another one for the AWP on the board. That's over on B as well, as Fawn back and is playing Con. Doesn't want to be taken out solo and make this retake possible. Cigarettes can't make the CZ work on the ladder. So yeah, as I was saying there about Hats, he's playing the long range now, which is what you want to do with the sniper rifle. Ali, gets destroyed by Genius coming down in through SL, but Liaz is ready for the trade, and that's the bomb down too. So Reality left in the 1 versus 4. No gun able to be recovered for him, unless he gets down SL, where Hats, or Liaz even, is already pushing. That's a great shot from Reality, though. Reality lined that up, and now that's an AK in hand. I think maybe Signature can still do this, even with 35 seconds left. It's going to be a tall order. Sicko flashed out, has to move back, hasn't been hit yet. EMAG and Hats here to back him up. 25 on the clock. EMAG pushing up into the halls. Going to be passing the showers in a moment. And he's waiting here for Reality. Going to play the longer angle just in case Reality pops back up the ladder. Sicko playing at E-Box. He's going to go down. That's the first. Reality with an incendiary that he's picked up. Going to pop that into Connector. And this will be the bomb planted for extra time. But EMAG's already coming in. Nope. No bomb down, unfortunately. EMAG got there just in time. Double AWP is saved again. Reality almost had a chance there, but unfortunately EMAG moved too quickly and did catch him out. So another round that's a near thing for Signature. Again, the clutch situation is looking very doable for them every time that they're in it, even if they have been losing them in the 1v2s. They've got it from 1v4, 1v3 into that situation, so they're still doing the damage. Now, though, Back onto the bite. They need to find out this double AWP from Order. Sicko's already ready for Reality to peek into him. And there's the smoke actually out to block Sicko's line. And Reality's waiting for him to get aggressive up on top of the train. It's a good read, but Sicko's not going to do it. Instead, choosing to fight down between the trains and might just peek far enough he will.
No! Reality wise to it. Hats is going to get a reply for Order. Genius will fall. It's an AWP trade coming through here. Emag, Ali, Hats, and Leah still up for Order. Facing 4 on Signature, but Reality heavy tagged from that first engagement. 15 HP remaining. Signature moving up into the halls to determine where they're going to play on this map. It's the good spread from Order. They've got Hats playing in con for B here. Able to make that call. He does have the AWP, and you're hoping that he's going to get a pick if they decide to come down that ramp.
It's worth noting as well that Sicko did hit his flick onto Reality. It was just a leg shot. Unfortunately, couldn't quite find the kill, although he was ready for it. And now Hat's going to be under a bit of pressure. He's already found one here over on B. He's got the molly out for low ramp, but the bulk of these players, or the bomb even, is going to come out from high ramp. So Hats, at this point, will have to just pick an angle and hold it. The smoke and flash come out. He's given the opportunity, but he can't find the kill. Or on to Leaz in the bomb site, but he's found 2 and a third with the P2000. All on Reality now, 1v4.
Reality, I don't think he's going to be able to do this. Leaz already popping off, and it's Alistair that pushes him from up top and will finish the kill. Double AWP again brought through. AK in the hands of Leaz and Emag with the M4. This is a very good position for Order to be in.
There's the triple AWP out for Order now.
Yeah, it is.
For the last round of the half. Or do they drop? Oh, come on, guys. Keep the triple AWP. Have some fun. No, all right. They're only going to go through with 2. But there'll be no answering AWP on Signature. No utility this time either. And despite the good work last round from Reality to open up with that first kill onto Sicko, and even with Hats being in a very dangerous situation after missing that first shot on B, Leaz is there to bail him out. In the meantime, though, QQ God has gone fast out A main, taking out Alistair. Sicko with the trade. Brings it back into a 4 versus 4, but already Reality's through Olof.
Reality pushing through here. Sicko going to meet him on top, and Reality will find another. He falls to Leaz, who's sharp, gets a second. That's genius, leaving us 2v2 for the final round of the half. Rolex gets Emag. Leaz will finish him off, but Cigarettes comes through to bring it a 1v1. AK against the AWP. Round number 15. Both of these teams looking to take this out for the 8-7 into the second half. With a minute remaining, Cigarettes has a lot of time to play with as he rotates round for Ivy. Hats looking to push onto the site. He will be grabbing the AK here.
Now he was holding the right angle. Will he hear Cigarettes? I don't think he heard those footsteps. So he might just be caught out in transition depending on where Cigarettes goes. These players don't know where each other are, but they've made the correct calls, and I think Hats has just got away, but Cigarettes coming through behind him. This one's very much a 50-50 depending on who looks in the right angle first. Hats is busy clearing out onto B, and Cigarettes is coming through behind him. Hats might rotate all the way onto A here and let Cigarettes through. That'd be a bit confusing for him, but I've never seen a 1v1 play out just like this, actually, with both players chasing each other without even knowing it, and Hats has gone through onto A. Cigarettes, he's gone straight through behind him, does go away from him, though, and now Hats is coming back through. Now it's Hats who might catch him out in the back. The timing switching up back and forth, and Hats will hear the bomb going down here in a second as well.
It's been cat and mouse. 9 seconds remaining. Cigarettes needs to get this planted. Hats going to be pushing back onto the site. The bomb will go down. Will Cigarettes be able to hold this post plant? Hats knows. He's aware. He's heard him push past the oil train. And he's just going to be clearing out here. Cigarettes playing the right position, but he was looking away. Will he get the kill here? He's turned. Hats has seen that foot. Cigarettes pushes up. No, Hats on the jump. Falls to Cigarettes, who gets 2 for the round and pulls out the clutch.
Another round that could have gone either way. That 1v1 was very much up in the air for the entirety of it. Hats did have the advantage coming into it, but still, it's a flurry of frags across the board to make that one happen. Leaz with 3, sitting at 21 frags at the moment. It's been a while since we've had a top frag performance from Leaz, so it's good to see him back into things on LAN.
He's looking on form.
He is. That's 2 3Ks in a row for him in the round. This one, unfortunately, can't save it, but still, he does well to bring it back. In order, 7 rounds on their CT side. It's not what I thought they were going to get, but given they were down 6-1, that's a good comeback from them. They do limit the T side of Signature. So now that we're going onto their own T side here, heading into the pistol, 2 Molotovs out for Order, the 1 smoke on Emag as well. So with the double molly, most likely a play onto B. Use that double Molotov to get it onto the bomb. There's a smoke and a kit out on Reality, but they do have the second Molotov for when and if that smoke fades. In the meantime, Genius going to peek into Brown Halls where all the Ts are coming his way.
They certainly are. Genius going to be lining these up. He's seen them and he's going to pull back onto the B site, calling for the rotate to come through as Order will be streaming down the bottom ramp. That's a pick for Rolex to start us off. Damage dealt, Sicko tagged, but he has to reload, and Order will get onto the site for the signature retake.
So we've got one Molotov in hand as well. That's with Liaz, who is in upper, so he's now ready for this post plant. But like I said, there's still the kit in the smoke for when they make it to that bomb. And in the meantime, the kills have to come in. Liaz doesn't need to fight this. If he goes down, it's the Molotov lost. And in the meantime, the Glocks need to do the work here at close range. They have closed the distance, though, and there's Liaz with a good headshot. Oh, Hats with the burst fire as well. This is working much better now. Hats showing up with 3.
Hats has shown us aptly how to use burst fire on the Glock. QQ playing up top here, will find Sicko, looks for EMAG also, but can't close it. EMAG getting the final kill in the first round of the second half, and Order will tie it up 8 apiece. They'll look to push this to 9, and maybe even the trifecta for 10. Let's have a look at Hats once again.
There were some nice kills here. He gets 3 here. First one on burst fire, second 2 quick taps. Great shot in reality as well. That's more of what we need from Order, the individual players starting to step up and fire. We saw a bit of it with Liaz, but that'll help them. I was scared for a moment that QQ was going to rip another pistol round away in the 1v2, but didn't end up happening. That's a good pick from Ali as well, catching out Rolex, trying to get aggressive. The A-bomb site will be the port of call here very, very quickly. Down SL, out T-Con. There's 4 players here, or 3 players waiting for them, 1 on the flank, but they're looking all over for where these guys are playing from. And while QQ does get a deagle kill, this should still just be the cleanup for Order very easily. It's all out on the Genius coming in on the flank, and Liaz is waiting for him down drop.
Certainly is. Genius peaks, shows his feet, but he'll come quickly back up the ladder. The HE goes up there, and Genius does get tagged, 87 remaining. This is a tall order for him to try and pick this up, but he'll start with Liaz going down. That's a UMP in hand now. Alistair waiting for him at E-box. Genius not going to be committing to that, and out comes the Molotov. Order doing well to hold this post plant, buying EMAG some time to catch up to Genius, who has no idea he's there. Mac 10 in hand and some extra cash. Order will indeed go to 9-8.
It's a well-played anti-eco from them. Fast out onto the A bomb site. It does work. They get that excellent pick onto Rolex, and from there they can just roll on through. When they're losing 1 to QQ God in the end, and then, of course, 1 in the 1 versus 4. But still works out very well for them. Nice, clean anti-eco. And they'll now go onto the bulk rifle by 3 AKs, 1 Galil, 1 Mac 10. Pistol save essentially coming out from Signature here. They do have the Deagle and Cigarettes, who can have some impact with it, but they're full stacked on the A bomb site, which is where Order are now going to go.
Order looking for this push, and that's an easy commanding hold of it as Signature is on B.
I promise I can read maps.
You can. I believe you, Tim.
Thanks, man.
Cigarettes is here in con, but it's smoked out, and Order have complete control of A. 5v5 still, no damage dealt, but a lot of utility here for Order post-plant. They didn't have to burn anything coming in. Signature weren't even there, so we've still got another Molotov. We had 2 smokes, one of them being used by Ali now to hold out. QQ God gonna look, finds EMAG at the back, and Reality's the one that'll get the kill. That's the Mac 10 down, but the rifles are still up. Alistair on the push with the flash to help him. Finds QQ God, looks for a second on Rolex, gets damage down, and will pick up the kill. Alistair down to 12. He's gonna be rotating out here. Ooh. Deagle for Cigarettes, gets damage dealt. Can he pick up a kill? No. Hats will put him away. Reality and Genius still up. Reality taken by the bomb. And Genius picking up Hats as he plays from CT.
So that's some decent damage there. A couple kills coming through for Signature, given that they were stacked on the wrong bomb site initially. But they don't get too much done with it. Now, though, will be the first buy round of the half for them. I'll have to see how they choose to play this one on CT. They've got the AWP out on Reality. He certainly had some decent rounds on the T side with that. And there's no answering AWP for Sicko here, so I'll have to use some good utility to try and flush Reality out. But the T is going over to the B bomb site here, unless, no, fast SL, I lied to you. They're going out A, and this might just work out. They've got the smokes out to block off the bomb site, and there's Reality coming through with a tag and some damage as well.
Rolex playing in the middle of the carriages here, going to be looking for EMAG, who will be pushing up, but he's turned away at just the wrong time, pulled off that angle. He pushes the smoke, though, and will find Sicko. He's put down by Hats. Cigarettes getting EMAG in the process. Liaz will trade it through, but QQ got on the flank. Hats at E-box. Takes him down, leaving us with the 1v1. Hats on the 1v2. Could take this round out. Genius playing at the back of the site. The bomb has been dropped, and Genius has seen it. He's now looking for Hats. Spotted him, and he gets the kill nice and clean. He was late pulling out the gun, but he made it work.
It's real unfortunate for Hats there. He did have that tiny window of opportunity, but couldn't make it work. And Signature, that's a great round from them, dancing around the smokes that Order threw out onto the bomb train, trying to block it off so they could plant through them. Doesn't matter. Signature bust through, get a few early picks, and from there just close out the round. winning the 1v1s that they are presented with. That said, though, their money is very low. They lose 3 players, and all 3 of those guys have to rebuy onto FAMASas. And for Order, with those anti-ecos wins, with those SMG frags, they're going to get another good buy round out here. Decent utility, 5 AKs as well, and this time they're going to go and put the pressure onto Genius, who can call for Reality to rotate through with the AWP, which is what he's done. So now Order going to need to throw some flashes over and through to try and force the AWP off. But there's 2 players here for them. This is a good opportunity to get into this B-bomb site as they do look to line up. The pop flashes, the smoke's coming out. Genius turned away.
And this is Genius with 2. Can he get 3? The full flash on EMAG. He gets up, gets an AK, but Sicko is there to back up his teammate. Rolex finds Sicko in the trade, and we're left with the 2v4 for the hold here for Order. Not a great position to be in. EMAG will fall to QQ God, and Liaz at the top in halls. It's just him to be able to hold this. He doesn't have a Molotov for the bomb. He's going to have to push this to get onto it as QQ is already defusing. He'll spot Reality. He pushes for it, but Rolex on the coverage as well. And that's another round for Signature. They tie it up once again.
It all comes down to Genius being able to dodge that flash. And unfortunately for him, he wasn't blinded by one of the flashbangs coming through from over the top. Because ideally, you want the player at lower rounds to turn away from the pop flash that comes out there and then get caught by something coming in from overhead. But unfortunately, he's unblinded. He almost got the 3rd player as well who ran past him while full blind. Sicko did get the save, but it's not enough in the end. The 2 kills there are too much. Signature's very fast on the rotate and the retake. And that forces Order onto the pistols. Once again, they're out past Reality, though. Gives Leo's a chance to get out to this A-bomb site, and they're going very, very quickly. Some good spray coming in from Hats. Almost gets a kill on Rolex. Can't clean it up, and they're touching each other in the smoke. But the bomb not down yet. That's a good start, though. Alistair on the Tech 9 gets the first headshot. Spots out QQ God as well. This is doable for the T's.
Certainly is. Cigarettes gets the first back. EMAG will fall. Alistair picking up the AWP, and Hats with an AK. They both have armor, so this is a good position for Order to be in to take out the rest of this round. Genius going to take a little bit of damage there as he comes through SL. Alistair picking up QQ God. Genius will trade that back. Hats nice and cheeky at the bottom of the ladder. Sicko finding Genius with the CZ. Hats with Cigarettes, and Order again in the lead.
A very fast round there from Order, getting straight out onto A. They've tried this before and it didn't work, but this time with the pistols, they do manage to get in around their smokes very, very quickly, and Signature were not ready for it. And then, of course, picking up the guns, it does work out. Of course, you have to say as well for Order that it was some sharp shooting that made it possible with the CZs and even the Tech 9 and Alistair. Not a gun we see too much of anymore, but it is a round win. Forces the CTs back onto a bit of a mix by a pistol, 2 from us, 2 M4s. The double drop comes in and Rolex gets deleted. That's a good start for Signature as again they want to go into this A-bomb site, but there's a double push into the brown halls coming as well as Cigarettes trying to catch them out here. Signature have decided to go fast on the flanks and try and stop them. Genius has found Alistair as well. This could be Order's undoing.
It certainly could, but Sicko going to stop Cigarettes as he pushed to T-spawn. Genius up here in the halls. Will find EMAG, but EMAG, the advantage, takes him down as he jumps up onto the stairs. QQ God playing on the A site here. We've got Reality who's moving around back through halls. Hats, an easy peek on QQ God. 2 for Hats in this round. Reality at the top of the ladder here. And he will be playing down through SL to try and pick up a kill. Hats going to be peeking it, and he will finish it off. Order finding a 2-round lead.
3 kills for Hats in that one. That's a big round from them. Signature, they certainly tried to take the advantage by getting some aggressive map control. They push 1 out Ivy, 2 into the brown halls, trying to catch Order off as they wrap in onto the A-bomb site. And they do that because, as we've seen, Order are going very fast A. So if they're going fast A, you can go fast flank and be behind them as they're taking the bomb site. But that time, Order didn't go as quickly as they had previously. They were waiting for it, and they did lose a couple players to it, but the trades come through. And now you can see Sicko is waiting for the Ivy push, getting ready for anything that Signature might try. But just on the pistols, they're going to put a stack on the A-bomb site, which is where Order's been going, so this might work out for them. Certainly looks like Order are set up for this, but taking this one slowly, playing a default. Utility out onto the A-bomb site, but they haven't gone with it just yet.
And now they will. It's the push, my friend, and Hats picking up Reality and QQ God with EMAG on 2 assists, giving him a helping hand. Alistair finds Cigarettes, looks for another, but it's Liaz on top of the train. Picks up Rolex and Genius. A quick round for Order. As soon as that utility came out, that round was basically over. Yeah,
that was very well played from them, even though they ran into a stack, and it was just the default pistols, but we've seen them do damage when stacked on the correct bomb site before. That said, though, the utility usage was good. The frags were better. Hats getting 2. Really starting to show up now here on 21 kills. Leo's hitting 26. Order 3 rounds in the lead in the CT, on the T side even. And for the CTs, they're limited to QQ on a UMP. Here's more utility out A quickly. Alley's already down through SL. There's 3 players stacked close here, though. Trying to stop with SL pressure coming out as Order coming out here quickly and getting the few opening frags. Has lost them rounds, so they're trying to deal with it now with 2 players very close to this smoke and even re-smoking onto Alley. But the first pick still going to go the way of Sicko, who picks up QQ God, pushing into T-mid. Rolex close on the frag. Will get the return, but not the trade. That said, though, the trades are rolling through well into the 3v3 now. And that's the bomb down.
Reality getting the 2 on Alistair, then EMAG to follow. He'll find Sicko, but it's not enough. Sicko up top with the CZ. Now Cigarettes and Genius left to hold this site. The bomb going to be picked up in a moment. Genius pushing through that fiery Molotov. He's going to pick up Hats, and it's left to Sicko with the AWP. He's already got 2. He could find a 3rd, and he does. Genius down. Will this be the 4K for Sicko on the AWP? As he peeks for Cigarettes, he's seen him. Shot fired. Cigarettes back behind the train. Sicko not going to play up top as they dance around for control of the bomb. Sicko sees it to the right. Cigarettes not watching it directly. He's going to pull back onto the site here. 35 seconds in this round. And it's a good movement from Cigarettes to pull around to the far side. He's got it. And Signature find an 11th.
Unfortunate for Sicko there. He thought he might have won that one. But when he falls back there, it gives just enough time for Cigarettes to reposition, get over to his side. Whereas you can see Sicko wasn't ready. He thought he was still amongst the trains. So Signature will fight back with another round. And now we've got a timeout, which I'm assuming will be a tactical hit. But yeah, that's, again, another really close round. Comes down to the 1 versus 1. So a lot of these rounds have been very, very close, but at least Signature do get 1 back. They had a slim 1-round lead at the half. They've been very, very back and forth, but that time they do manage to make it work. In the clutch situation, they were ready for order. They stacked close up top of the A-bomb site, excuse me, getting around E-box, waiting for the frags to come out. They do get distracted and the trades roll through, but still they managed to pull it back. And in the 1 versus 1, Sicko cannot quite make it happen. Still though, 2 rounds up for order as the fist bumps go out. Alistair looking keen to get back into the game.
I think they would be. The tactical comes through. That was from Signature as well, who I think are planning to launch this game back into motion here. They don't want to be giving up any more rounds with Order on 13. No,
certainly not, but their buy is a bit shoddy here. 1 SMG, 2 for Masters, and the M4 and the AWP that was saved on the previous round. They're going to go fast B. They like going quickly here, but Genius is going to catch them out. They're going 1 by 1. Order, you can't be doing this. You've got to go together. And that gives Genius the time to get 2. Sicko hits a nice trade, but the bomb is down. He's going to throw a smoke and a flash, go and try retrieve it. But in the meantime, the rotations come through onto B. QQ has found EMAG and Liaz playing close at A main, trying to make the space, draw the rotate out. But the bomb still on the B bomb site. It's Sicko in the 1 versus 4.
Sicko will need to get the ace here if he wants to take the round for Order. And he's got plenty of time, just over a minute remaining if he really wants to challenge this. He's watching both angles available to him up top. Cigarettes here on the site with Rolex playing a con and the slow flank coming through from QQ God, who's going to be pushing up the stairs from T-spawn now. Sicko going to be coming down the ramp here. Peeks, sees Cigarettes, he pulls up back into the halls. If he hit that shot on Cigarettes, we might have seen him push through a little harder. 42 seconds remaining, and the slow flank still coming through from QQ God.
And there's so many angles for Sicko to worry about here. This is such a tough clutch for him to even get a start in. If he can get a pick here on the bomb site, even if he finds a player coming out of connector, which he just might do. No, can't spot it. Reality's found the headshot. But even if he had got that, there was still the flank coming in, as you mentioned, the whole time, which he would have had to deal with. So it was a very difficult clutch for Sicko, and unfortunately, he can't deliver. But Order going out 1 versus 1 through a smoke, relying on a single pop flash that was dodged by Genius, does give him the time he needs to take down 2 players. And while Sicko got a good return through the smoke, he couldn't accomplish anything more in the 1 versus 4, with QQ God picking up the remaining 2 players towards A. With that SMG, they were trying to draw out a rotate, I think, to make some space for Sicko to pick up that bomb, but it doesn't work out. And now Order back on a buy, 5 AKs, but not the greatest amount of utility. Got a bit, but not a huge amount. And look at this aggressive setup from Signature.
Reality starting us with Hats going down over at the lower ramp on B. Rolex got heavily tagged from a HE earlier in the round. Alistair delivering that damage. And it's going to be Genius spotting Order pushing up top. He's going to fall back onto the site here over at B. But Order not going to push on there yet. They're bringing the bomb slowly over here. Smoke up at the top and at the bottom of the ramp. EMAG going to be smoking out here to prevent vision at connector as they look to push perhaps to top.
Rolex is ready, waiting in bottom SL. They haven't peeked him and they haven't made noise. They can work their way over to B here, but there is still 2 players on this bomb site. QQ God playing for upper as well. Genius is going to be over the smoke if they do throw it here. The default smoke that you throw out the bottom of the ramp does land halfway down the lower ramp in between the train here, and they don't even throw that. Alistair does catch him out with the flashbang, and there's an entry. Sicko hits QQ God.
Certainly does. Genius with the fail HE, and he turns away at just the wrong time. Alistair pushes him and gets the kill, but it's Rolex on the flank. It gets one damage on Alistair and gets the kill finally. EMAG with the reply, leaving us with Cigarettes and Reality quite healthy to come up against EMAG and Liaz. EMAG on the site. Peeked, has seen Cigarettes, and he'll peek again for the clean headshot. Reality, last man standing, needs the 4. He gets the first. That's EMAG down with the HE. Liaz going to be peeking here. He's got the picked up incendiary, and he's going to play it carefully. He hears Reality get onto the bomb, and he gets the spray for the kill. Order pushed to 14 over Signature's 12. And are only a couple of rounds away from victory. And
that was a crucial kill for EMAG in the 2 versus 2 there, getting that first headshot. He does go down to the grenade, but that makes it doable, because if he dies, Liaz has to peek to stop the diffuser, which leaves him open, if they did get on it, leaves him open to being traded. But the fact that EMAG makes into a 1 versus 1 for him, there was still, of course, a chance that maybe the bomb is tapped and then they hold the angle on him upper, but it makes it a lot more doable for Liaz, particularly with him sneaking up out of the brown halls. EMAG really made that one doable for him, and now again, the fast push. Order going back to what's been working.
And Alistair is going to be the first. He picks up QQ God, who is at E-Box Hats. Getting the second with Rolex. Cigarettes playing from Ivy. He pushes through. He's got the Degon. He's looking to pick up a kill here. Plant going to go down. Hats gets it. Cigarettes in the smoke. He pulls out, and Alistair will find his back. Reality with a CZ and Genius with a UMP. 2v5 for the retake. And they need this retake here if they want to come away with the win. Otherwise, Order's pushing to 15. And match point.
At this point, it has to be the overtime play for Signature. I mean, there's really not much chance they get this 2v5. If they were going to get it, they'd have to be running for it now, which they're not, as you can see. But even if they were, it's such a low percentage win, so you might as well save what you have. Maybe pick up an AK if someone gets too aggressive. But this fast A has been working so well from Order. They get the smokes out everywhere. The flashbangs out. They push the molly onto the stoppers as well once they get onto that bomb site and just open it up for themselves. They know what angles they have to fight. And again, Signature, their response to this pretty much every time has been trying to send a player, usually Cigarettes, to push through a smoke. That time he only had Deagle, of course. It's worked better with the M4, but they usually send someone questing through the smokes, trying to find out the bomb planner, trying to find out someone pushing, just getting the off timing. The individual plays, as they said, and Order are looking ready for it now. As soon as they throw the smokes, they go out to the A-bomb site, but their guns out the whole time, not trusting their smokes to block Signature out entirely, which they shouldn't. Smokes are not walls. But now, again, it's the fast execute. It's been working every time, so why not keep going? And the buy is not great from Signature.
It certainly isn't. Alistair going to be pushing through here, but the smoke covers Rolex to get out. He gets tagged from the spray, down to 73, and this will be Order setting up pretty standard for what we've seen for the past few rounds, looking for these picks and waiting for time. Reality with a scout, might be able to put that to good use. He's been quite sharp with an AWP. Let's see if he can click heads with the scout. Cigarettes pushing through Ivy, and it's QQ God that'll start us. Liaz picks him, but Alistair, a swift reply. QQ God and Rolex are his first 2. He's going to look for Reality here. He'll spot him. He gets a tag. Reality pulling back as the connector is smoked off. Order have the A bomb site under control. It's Genius that's pushing through. Going to be looking to come down the ladder in SL. Hat's waiting here for him. Flash out here, and Genius will fall. It's left to Reality and Cigarettes. 2v4, pushing on now. Reality starts it. This could be the launch as Alistair goes down. Sicko may also fall, and he does. Cigarettes picks him up. 2v2 now for the hold. Cigarettes goes down to Hats, and we're left with Reality and a scout. He goes to Hats also, and this will be Order that pick up the map. They win this best of 1, and they will be progressing here in the ESL Pro League Season 7 APAC Finals. An amazing match between these two teams, but I think it's time we get our experts' opinion on the matter. Over to you, Ben.
And it's 16-12, so I don't know if we're experts at all, but the result stands, gentlemen, and Order progressed through to the upper bracket final. Signature actually played pretty well.
Absolutely. I think the most critical part for them when they started the T side was that they backed themselves with the confidence that we've seen from the Asian team so far, is that they come firing in the first half. There is no holding back. They gave it everything they had, and then Order figured out how to adapt, and that's why we saw the change around from about 6-1 up, 7-1 up into that 8-7 scoreline where a few critical clutches for both sides. But Order eventually, they just knew how to make the micro adaptations. The constant aggression from Signature, you can only do it 1 or 2 rounds. You can't do it the entire time, Ian.
Yeah, I think they definitely caught Order off guard at the start of the match, and even just with their raw aim, and Order were down in the dumps, you could see.
Yeah.
As soon as they even got one round on the board, you know, the manager's up in arms, happy about it, and firing up the boys. So, look, I was a little bit worried. I think 8 rounds was quite a lot for the T side on train, but unfortunately, the CT is where the real collapse was for Signature. They just got overrun time and time again. I think I want to point out a couple of things. So, Liaz, obviously, as a star, just his attrition rate is just so high. Like you said, Kevin, he has 20 frags in the first half. You don't even understand how or where he got them. For me, he was a very slow starter, but all of his kills were actually super critical and important and had a lot of impact on the entire halves. He got about 10 kills in the first half. 6 of those were with pistols, and it really turned the tide for Order in the game. And then coming into the T side, that 3K he got on with the Glock really just set the tone for their whole second half. Without that pistol round, they were certainly screwed.
Yeah, it certainly took Order a while to get going, but once they did, as Kev said, once they adapted, it felt like they had reasonable control of the game. A score of 16-12 is probably closer, though, than coming into this maybe, Kev, they would have liked to have.
Of course so, but with Order, they've got enough experience to go, all right, this is what we do. We're never going to be down and out. They've been in worse situations before. They've been on train for like down 10-14, and they still managed to find a way to win it. So they were going against Signature and going, okay, look, we got caught off guard by that play because one example for would be his genius for holding the inners ramp, where he was able to shut down the take by himself. How many times was he able to get 2 or 3 kills? Eventually, Order were able to cotton on because they go, hang on a moment, he's staying and fighting. Normally, a lot of people back off, and that's what Order were expecting. Oh, we made presence, he's seen us, he's going to back off, not fight close. So once they adapted to that, that's where the round started ticking over in Order. And it was just always constant adaptation after adaptation to win these rounds.
It's great for me to see that these teams from Southeast Asia and the Chinese region coming through and actually taking it to the teams that are high seated in the group. If we talk about the MVP versus SZ Absolute game, the last score I had was 15-11 to MVP. So that's actually, again,
it was
another
very close.
respectable scoreline.
Yeah, it's a good scoreline up against one of the top teams.
Definitely one of the top teams in the region, and they'll be looking to take out this entire qualifier, I guess you could say. But for me, just for Signature as well, just a couple of their standout players, obviously Genius and whatnot, a very similar play style to what we saw yesterday with Boot, just taking aim duels wherever they are, you know, and that's something the Australian guys have to adapt to. They're not used to that sort of play style, like Kev says. They're used to someone showing presence at low ramp. Okay, boys, I know what to do here. I need to value my life. I'm going to fall back, throw a Molotov on low ramp, and that's the way we usually see things play out. But these Asian teams are not giving us any slack. The Aussies are getting no respect, and they're punishing the Aussies, and they're going to have to adapt very quickly. And I think it's, you know, it's safe to assume whenever you come up against international opposition, that's how they're going to play, because that's how you should be playing as well. Give them nothing at first, and then if they earn your respect, give it to them. And that's why we get smashed so hard when we go overseas, like the likes of FaZe just one-tapping us everywhere.
Exactly. They're playing that type of game style, and that's not the type of game that you're playing at home to qualify. So essentially almost 2 entirely different styles of CS that you need to be playing right. And I think that applies to a lot of different games, not just CSGO, where your qualification process can be an entirely different game to what you actually need to play to be successful overseas against top-tier teams.
Yeah, I mean, the meta that we're playing for the Australian meta, we always talk about metas, for example. Australian meta is different to the SEA, it's different to the Chinese one, and it's going to be completely different to the European. So it's just the difference is that Europeans, just fundamentally, they're just better, dare I say it.
There's just more than one way to skin a cat, right? You can win your Australian qualifier playing Dust 2 every single map, get out of your group stages.
Dust 2, we back, boys.
Yeah, then you turn it on for the loser bracket or the lower bracket or the upper bracket or whatever. You get to play your best maps, right? So this is very similar in that circumstance where it's just your rudimentary game at first, and then you escalate it as you need to. And the Aussies are coming in trying to play their A-level game against opponents who are just out there shooting them, and that's all it takes. And it takes you a while just to figure that out, but you could see how quickly Greyhounds adapted. Once they lost that game to Boot, they're like, oh, I see what we needed to do. Once they saw Tainted Minds just smash them like the way they did, it was like, okay, yeah, we should probably just stop trying to do fancy stuff and just shoot them.
Yeah, well, it is a game of shooting people, You know, when
Yeah,
it comes
I
down
know,
to it,
right?
right? If you can't get that
Some
bit
people
right,
forget that.
it can be
It's
tough.
not soccer.
Yeah, exactly.
Teamwork is good, but it's not the end of the world.
You can
Like,
have
Yeah.
the best strategy, but the brilliance at the end of the day is if you can kill your opponent, that's all the brilliance that you ever
exactly.
need.
Yeah, and something very important to remember. And I'm sure they don't forget, but sometimes when you're up on stage, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of things coming through. Talking about pressure, we're qualifying 2 teams through to the finals in Dallas. We've never had an opportunity to bring teams through from the APAC region through to Pro League finals before. If you've qualified, you've had to go through North America or for Europe. So for the vast majority of these players, this is a huge deal. It's May 18 to 20 in Dallas. Tickets are still available. You should definitely get in. It's a great opportunity. If you have not seen live CSGO, it's one thing to come to a local event. It's another thing to see some of the top teams in the world. The crowds go insane. For me, my first opportunity was going to IMC. That was an incredible experience. It's way bigger than you feel it is going to be before you get there.
That was the thing. I mean, after going to, Katowice, that was probably my first experience with a huge crowd in front of Virtus Pro when they won. Obviously, DreamHack Winter before that wasn't really that big. It was just a small little sort of entertainment hall. But then to go to Katowice, and it was a huge stadium, the Spodek Arena, and then after that, ESL Cologne was just amazing, and the Lancet Arena filled out completely. The crowd was going wild. It was like a football match in England, and to see the look on your face when IEM Sydney came here, and it was like, wow, this is real.
Yeah, you can get it right. It's the feel. All of a sudden, you hear the AWP go off, and you can listen to it in your headphones at home. But then in the arena, you just feel it. The reverb, it's insane. So it's what you want. It's how esports, I think, is supposed to be experienced, right? That's it. So, well, a lot of pressure for these teams so far this weekend. We now know the order are going through to the upper bracket finals. I think it's probably safe to say they're going to be going up against MVP PK.
That's a fair, safe assumption.
It's a safe assumption.
Yeah.
They probably prepared for this game already.
This is the matchup that they were expecting to get to. They probably didn't do as much look into Signature as they did, and they were fairly confident that they could just get away with adapting on the day. They have. 16 to 12, it sounds close, but still 4 rounds.
You need to be
right?
confident.
So
you need to be confident. Coming into this, you jump on hltv.org, you have a look at the stats, you look at their maps that they play, the maps they don't play. That's the veto done.
Yeah.
You can quickly go look at a VOD, you see their pistol round, you just check to see if they're not doing the same one that they've done last time they played. That's it. That's as far as you need to go with these guys. You just need to get in the server then and let your own game, win the match for you, not just try and go out there and play their game.
Yeah, and that's it. So, we're getting ever closer to finding out who our 4 teams will be for Sunday. Coming up next, it is our upper bracket final. It's order up against MVP PK, a best of 3. You really want to watch this one. We'll see you soon.
QQ God, the last man remaining. That's a sharp 5 seconds about to be on the clock. Molly out at the bottom here. There goes Sicko. QQ God.
But he might just work his way out here.
He certainly might. It's the pullback, and there it is. QQ.
Big spray. He's got some fire coming through in return. All right, there's a spray coming through. 2 players here now, and they've got the smoke out. They're going to push, but Liaz is ready. Here comes Sicko through the smoke as well. But he's got a plan here in the 2 versus 1. Sicko's going to walk straight in and look for the kill, but he can't find it. That leaves it up to side. Cigarette's wheelie behind the timing. He's found the spray and the headshot.
Back of the bomb train. EMAG will be in his sight, but he spots Alistair first with his barrel, and he'll put him away. AK too strong. Liaz goes to Rolex as well. Will Rolex get a third? Not
In
going
reality now, they're getting out to the A-bomb side.
They certainly are. Rolex follows it up with one of his own. Good damage down by Alistair. He picks up QQ. Going to be moving around. Not much time left on the clock here. He does get Liaz. 20 seconds left, and Cigarette's hope is to get these last 2 frags. He flashes out to push onto the bomb train. He gets that one. Sicko down now.
Just pick an angle and hold it. The smoke and flash come out. He's given the opportunity, but he can't find the kill. On to Liaz in the bomb side, but he's found 2 and a third with the P2000.
He falls to Liaz, who's sharp, gets a second. That's genius. Leaving us 2v2 for the final round of the half. Rolex against EMAG. Liaz
needs to do the work here at close range. They have closed the distance though, and there's Liaz with a good headshot. Hats with the burst fire as well. This is working much better now. Hats showing up with 3. Let go the way of Sicko, who picks up QQ God, pushing into team mid. Rolex close on the frag. Will get the return, but not the trade. That said though, the trades are rolling through well into the 3v3 now. That's the bomb down. Go
Reality.
fast B. They go like going quickly here, but Genius going to catch them out. They're going one by one. Order, you can't be doing this. So he hits QQ God.
Certainly does Genius with the fail HE, and he turns away at just the wrong time. Alistair pushes him and gets the kill, but it's Rolex on the flank. It gets one damage on Alistair and gets the kill finally. Emag HE. Liaz going to be peeking here. He's got the picked up incendiary and he's going to play it carefully. He hears Reality get onto the bomb and he gets the spray. Could be the launch as Alistair goes down. Sicko may also fall, and he does. Cigarettes picks him up. 2v2 now for the hold. Cigarettes goes down to Hats, and we're left with Reality and a scout. He goes